Hello.
Welcome to the Geeky Girls Knit Podcast. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl.
Dammy, also known as Jammy Stoodles.
And we're glad to have you today. Today is Wednesday, the 28th of March, 2018. How is it the last Wednesday in March already?
Carefully.
Apparently. And this is episode 287. We'd like to say a big welcome back. We love you guys.
I'm knitting.
You only get half of the love, apparently, this week. To all our returning viewers, and a big hiya to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. We hope you enjoy the show. Dammy, we had somebody introduce themselves in the Ravelry group this week. Why don't you give them a shout out?
All right. Nora, who is that? Blevins24 from Colorado.
Welcome. We're glad to have you. Thanks for introducing yourself. Dammy, if somebody's not a member of our Ravelry group, what should they do?
4, 5,
That you should count.
6. You should join and introduce yourself in our introductions thread because you'll get a shout out on our next episode and be able to participate in all our owls and giveaways.
That's
I
right.
should not knit in this first segment, apparently.
Apparently not. So we have a fun parcel that came in the post this week.
Yeah.
I have several FOs, including the end of fingerless mitt knitting. And we have some behind the scenes from the Tickled Pink photo shoot, so stay tuned for that. So, well, we should probably get started, so here we go.
And now we're going to talk about what is on our needles.
So, Dammy, what's on your needles?
So, I'm still working on the Tickled Pink wrap for our new Tickled Pink book. It's on US 3's 3.25 millimeters, and the yarn is Seven Sisters Arts. And I'm adding some more length to it to make it extra cozy.
Yes. And you're doing amazing. And it's beautiful.
Yes, knit like the wind. I've watched The Little Mermaid several times this week while knitting.
Did you put that in the show notes?
No, but that's the only one I watched multiple times.
We'll talk about that in what we're reading, watching, and listening to. Okay, are you working on anything else? And she's counting. So I think what she's wanting to ask is what I'm working on.
What are you working on?
That's exactly right. So I'm working on my 10-stitch zigzag blanket. This is a free pattern by Frankie Brown called 10-stitch zigzag. I'm using US 4's 3.5 mil needles, and the yarn is Pandia's Jewel Snug in the hot cocoa with pink marshmallows colorway. So how long have I been working on this blanket?
I don't know.
57 years. Like
older than you are.
I think 2015 is when I cast it on. And I just thought this week, you know, it would be, because, like, okay, I try to knit a zigzag every day. And while we were in the midst of the move and everything, that didn't happen. The big move across from Scotland to here, back to the US. But now that I'm getting back in the rhythm, I'm trying to knit a zigzag every day. But sometimes life happens and I don't get to knit a zigzag that day. And so I could never remember as I was like knitting, like, cause sometimes I try to catch up and knit like a couple in a day or whatever to try to make it to get 7 in a week. But then I couldn't remember which one I had started with because they all look the same in the stripe. So this week when I knit the zigzag on Wednesday, which is the day we record this, when I knitted the zigzag on Wednesday afternoon, I put a stitch marker on it, a locking stitch marker, and then that way I could count and be like, oh, okay, I got 7 in this week.
You haven't been doing that?
No.
I thought you had.
No, I do have 2 other locking stitch markers on the blanket, but one of them is what I use to count the ridges, in the previous zigzag to make sure I get the full 10 ridges of the zig and 10 ridges of the zag. And the other one is what I use on the new zigzag to make sure, it's just like a double check to make sure I get the 10 ridges of the zig and 10 ridges of the zag. So now, and actually it's not a locking stitch marker, it's a big safety pin that was in my bag. But, there you go. More than you ever wanted to know about my zigzag blanket. So I have finished 9 zigzags in this stripe. So I won't have this stripe finished next week, but I will have it finished the week after, and I'll have started the next stripe. And the other thing I'm working on is Socks. It feels like 12 years since I've knit socks. It's not really. I knit a pair during the Ravelinics. So I am knitting socks for our friend Mel, who did the photo shoot for our Tickled Pink book, and she wouldn't let me pay her in monies, and so I'm knitting her socks as payment. And so I'm using my French Vanilla Cappuccino sock pattern. The yarn, I'm on US 1.5, 2.5 mil needles, and this is Patton's Croy sock in the Cadet colorway. So what I did is I bought 250-gram balls of it, so that I'll have enough. And here is what I have knit so far. It's really...
Tell us what happened.
I'm going to tell you what happened in just a minute, but I was going to say it's hard to get the... Because this color's so dark, it's hard to get like the... You know what I'm saying? Oh, there we go. That you're seeing it a little bit better there. So back here on the back, this is what Dammy's asking about. So I was... last night I was knitting and I was like, oh, I wonder how much I have knit. And so I put my handy dandy sockies into the sock.
It was socksies. Socksies. See, I always do it because socksies.
It's by Burning Impressions on not Instagram.
Etsy.
Etsy. That's the store. So I put it in to measure and see where I was, and I was looking on this side, and then I turned it over to look on this side, and I found way down here, like right here.
What'd you do?
A major split stitch.
Ooh!
Like to where it was holding on with one thread of the yarn.
Okay.
And I was like, crap, that is not good. So I so that's like probably 30 rows.
Okay, that's why it looks so funny.
So I dropped it down like 30 rows, picked that up, and then picked it all the way back up. It'll block out because it's not that I had dropped a stitch and didn't, and then it messed with the spacing. It's just because I did it all the way back up. So when it blocks, it'll block out. But that was my knitting attacks this week. So I'm working on this pair of socks for Mel. I didn't get it out to show you, but I bought 3 different colorways of Patton's Croy. I got this one, and I got one that is...
No, you'll see them in the coming weeks.
You will see them in the coming weeks, but I got one that's kind of a rainbowy one, but like a dark one, because we have this joke, and Mel thinks it's hysterical too, that her soul is black because she likes dark colors. And so I told her that I loved her, but I wasn't going to knit her black socks because I can't handle that dark. I can't see it. This is already so I had to turn on lights last night working on it. So the one of the colors I got is the Clover colorway, and it's like a rainbowy, but it's a real dark muted rainbow. And then the other colorway I got is the Cascade color, which is greens and blues. She's excited about socks. I was working on them yesterday when I was with her at Mom's group. So she's very, very excited. So I told her I would be getting these to her over the coming weeks. I'm going to knit this pair, and then I need to cast on Daddy's birthday socks. And then I need to do Jeremy's birthday socks, my bestie's husband, in the midst of
everything else
of knitting the socks for Mel. But she's totally fine with getting them whenever. But I knit socks pretty fast, especially if that's what I'm focusing on, or if we're traveling or whatever, or I'm sitting in a meeting or whatever. I tend to knit them up pretty fast. So in fact, I would probably bet you that if I was doing nothing else, if I was knitting on socks all day long, nothing else, I probably could knit a full pair of socks like that is in Mel's size or your or my size. Dammy wears an 8 to 8.5 shoe. I wear 8.5 to 9, and Mel wears an 8.5. I could probably have a pair of socks done in 2 days.
Okay.
We're not going to test that out, though. I don't have time to do that. So I'm working on socks for Mel, and that's it. I do have a new design that needs to go on the needles.
You do?
I do. I'm doing a design with black trillium.
Oh, yeah.
So, but I'm
so on top of our business.
Well, I got the yarn from her when we were at Vogue. No.
I was at Vogue Knitting. I couldn't go to the one the week after.
The Knit Fit one.
Yeah.
Yes, it was at Vogue Knitting Live because you were with me. Because it's like her 10th year this year of business. And so she wanted to have several designs done over the course of the year. And so I got the yarn then, and it's just been sitting. And she knew that would be the case because I told her, I said, I've got to get this book out first. So once the book is done into the print, gone to the printer and everything, then I will be able to focus on that. I'm not sure what I'm doing yet. I have a full skein and a gradient set of fingering weight yarn to do something special with.
Someday my Hadestown collection will get started back up.
Yeah. You'll get there.
Yes, I have all the yarn just sitting in a packet, so waiting for me.
Someday my prince will come.
You were just singing that because I've been singing it.
No, because you just said someday. I'll get back to it.
Okay.
Okay. All right, we've been rambling for almost 10 minutes in this segment for your tickled pink wrap and my zigzag and my socks. We probably should move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about her finished project.
I have 3. I'm going to actually start with the one that I finished second. This is my weekly preemie hat, number 12 for the year. This is from my free top-down preemie hat pattern on Ravelry. This was done on US 6's 4mm needles, and the yarn is Knitpick City Tweed DK in the Enchanted and Jacquard colorway. This is some leftovers that Julia of Pendious Jewels sent to me, and so I knit up this cozy hat. I love the tweed in it. So, number 12 for the year. And then, as I mentioned earlier, I finished knitting the shorty fingerless mitts. So I finished 2 pair this week. I finished pair 11 and pair 12. I incorporated the leftover sock yarn mitts pattern by Jean Stevenson. If you're interested in knitting these, if you go to my Ravelry project pages, I'm Java Pearl on Ravelry, I put the pattern in the notes of each project. So, and it's different. So I did some just with 1 color. I did some with 2 color stripes. I did Dammy's pair with 3 color stripes, and then I also did a self-striping one. So the changes for each of those are on their respective project pages. So I used US 3's 3.25mm needles, and pair number 11, which I'm going to keep this pair for myself. I was debating which pair to keep. So this is using String Theory Colorworks Entanglement Self-Striping in the Oxytocin colorway. So these are the leftover yarn from my Valentine's Day socks. So they're really cute. I wasn't trying to make them match. I just did them as they came. And then the 12th pair I finished. I used Knitting in France Sparkles in the Something About Cece colorway, and Ripples Crafts Hand-Dyed Yarn Sylvan in the Queen colorway. So this is left over from my Nanny Swemo Puntilla sweater. So I had asked my bestie Katie what colorway she wanted, and she was like, I don't care, because I like sent her both pictures of both the yarns. And she said, whatever, it doesn't matter to me. And so I knit up both of these, but I decided I'm going to keep the self-striping ones, and I'll send her the sparkly Something About Cece. You see that sparkle in there in the pink? So that is 12 pairs of fingerless mitts finished. And because I've knit, I think, well, partially, but because I've knit so many pairs of these along with everything else I've been knitting, I think I'm almost to 40 finished projects for the year already. Which is a lot. A lot. So, so that's what I finished this week. The 2 pairs of fingerless mitts and the preemie hat. So let's move on to the next segment. And now it's time for our favorite part of the show, Yummies. What are yummies, Tammy?
Yummies are our current favorite things, things we like, things we want to talk to you about.
Yummies. You had something.
Yes, I visited some cats this week. These are cats of a friend's friend of ours. So these cats are named Montague and Capulet. They call them Monty and Cappy. And they're a little strange. So they're brothers. Monty eats Cappy's whiskers. Just because, but that's not the main thing. So Cappy ate part of a yoga mat and could not pass it. So he had to have emergency surgery. And now he has a shaved belly and stitches and a cone.
Cone of shame?
Yeah, so he doesn't lick the stitches. And he can't be around his brother Monty, because Monty would probably lick the stitches for him. So he's shut in a room by himself with food and litter.
So you put it on Instagram stories, but did you like save them? Are they on a...
Yeah, they're in the highlights.
They're in the highlights.
I save all cat videos in the highlights.
So,
So if you want to see Monty and Cappy, Cappy has, like, their socks, not mittens. Paws. And Cappy's cute. They both have big eyes, and they're so big and furry and cuddly, and Cappy stole my jacket, but he was shedding, so it got covered in cat hair.
okay.
Yeah, they were cute cats.
Damn.
Don't let your cats eat yoga mats.
No.
We don't know why Monty eats Cappy's whiskers, but since he's shut away from him, he's growing in a nice little mustache.
Okay, Dammy wants to adopt all the cats in the world. Alright, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
I'm seeing a cat today. Along with children.
All cats all the time.
That's
Yes. We will eventually get a cat of our own. We're working on it. Okay, do you have anything else?
No.
Okay. Well, we got a parcel in the post this week. We were contacted by Knit Crate. They do subscription yarn boxes, and they offered to send us a box. And
sugar.
I know,
Honey, honey,
you are my
candy girl.
and you got me.
I don't remember what goes up to that.
You. They offered to send us a crate, a box to review. And then they also offered a coupon code for y'all. So this is the Sugar edition.
Ooh, honey, honey.
And it came with 2 skeins of yarn. Can you see the sparkle? Oh, it's so pretty. That's truer to the tone. Hey, look, it matches my shirt. So this is Uru yarn in the sugared sock base, which is 70% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 10% stellina, 100 grams, 399 yards, and the colorway is Peachy Queen. And it's very pretty. So it came with this, but then it also came with the patterns. So by Chelsea Bercampus, she designed the knit pattern, which is Bloom, and it's this beautiful wrap.
Is it a wrap or a cardigan?
It's a wrap.
Oh, it's a wrap, okay.
And Brenda Anderson designed a pair of crochet socks that are called Nectarine.
Oh my gosh.
I think I used this cable
You can't have it's crochet.
No, but the knit version of that cable in a pattern.
You've used a lot of cables. You've probably used all of them in existence.
I have, probably. So, so got both of those patterns, and yeah, this is beautiful. So, I can't decide. So, Dammy said that I could either have both skeins, or I can keep one, and we can put the other in as a prize for something.
Because I have too much yarn already.
But I'm wondering, I need to look in my in my queue and see if there's something where I need 2 skeins of fingering weight yarn.
I'm sure there is. Then you could wrap yourself in glitter.
Yes. I love it. And it's so squishy. Did you squish it?
I did squish it.
It's very soft. And it's beautifully dyed. Beautifully dyed. Yeah. So, this was the Sugar edition from Knit Crate. So, Knit Crate, what they're offering is you can get 20% off your first order. It'll work to discount either the first month of a recurring monthly subscription or any of their shop items. And the coupon code is, I'm putting it on the screen right now, all capital letters, Geeky20, Geeky20. And I'll put a link in the show notes to get to Knit Crate's website. So they have all different kinds of subscription boxes. They have like a sock box. I know they just did one with
Socks box.
They did one with Pom Pom Quarterly. So they have lots of different options. So you should check them out. And a huge thank you to Knit Crate for sending this to us. This is our opinions of it. We were not paid to give a positive opinion. We were just sent the box, and it's
just
lovely.
pretty yarn.
It's lovely, and the patterns are beautiful. And yeah, so you should definitely check out Knit Crate. And thank you again for sending that to us. All right, is there anything else we need to talk about other than our normal stuff? Okay, so let's talk about hashtag GGK Crafty Pad. What is it, Dammy?
It stands for Geeky Girls Knit Crafty Photo a Day Challenge. We have a list of photo prompts for each month. So you take a look at the prompt for that day, take a picture related to it, and post it anywhere you like. But we pick our favorites from Instagram. And this week I picked lots of cats.
You always pick lots of cats.
And a baby. And then I don't remember what the other one was.
You always pick lots of cats.
It was a panda cowl. That's what it was.
That's what it was. So we released the April list this week. And April
is numbers.
So every day is its corresponding number. Now you're asking, how do I do that? Or very cheater friendly. You make it work for you. You could do like, I have one more row to knit on this. Or these are the last 23 stitches before this project's finished. Or on the today's the 15th and I did da 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 da. You interpret it however you want to. We're totally cool with that. Or I have 31 skeins of yarn in my stash.
Are there 31 days in April?
I have 30 skeins of yarn. I don't know how many days are in April.
I have no idea.
I don't ever remember that. You know, there's that like little...
There's a song.
Well, there's a rhyme too, and I never remember. 30.
Ha! Ha ha.
30 days in
Ha,
April.
ha, ha, ha.
So, I have 30 skeins of yarn in my stash. Speaking of stash, like I had nothing else to do. That's a huge lie. And so I put everything in my Ravelry stash this week. Sometimes you just got to do the organizing thing and let your brain kind of rest. So yeah. So however you want to interpret it, the hubs is sitting behind here and giving us weird looks. Do you have something you would like to say about the fact that I was anally organizing my yarn?
I love you.
I love you too. So Dammy, what are we about to show them?
2 photos from us that we liked and 5 photos from other people that we liked.
Here come the photos. So those are our favorite photos. Great job, everybody. So it's never too late to join in. You just take a look at the prompt for the day. So for example, today, Wednesday the 28th, I believe the prompt is copper. So you interpret that however you wish. Take a photo, you post it on Instagram, and make sure in the caption you use hashtag GGKCraftyPad, and yours might get chosen.
Especially if it has a cat in it.
Yes, Dammy likes the cat
Or
photos.
a dog. Or a bunny.
So if you have a private account on Instagram, you need to make sure Dammy's Doodles is following you, because otherwise we can't see your photos, even though you tagged them with hashtag GGKCraftyPad. So, all right. Well, I think we're ready to move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about what we are reading, watching, and listening to.
What are you reading?
I'm still reading The Phantom of the Opera by Gaston Leroux, and by reading, I mean listening to an audiobook version of it. Again, I didn't get a whole bunch listened to it this week, but I did make some progress in it.
You should have listened to it instead of watching The Little Mermaid 57 times.
But I love The Little Mermaid.
I know you do. And what else are you reading?
I'm also reading The Glass Scientists, which is a webcomic by Sabrina Katungo.
So did you get your 15 minutes a day in?
Yes.
Okay. So this ends actually on Saturday.
Ooh, boy.
What we're referencing is the January, February, March read-along. And Rawl, yes. We are continuing it. We have been asked to continue it, so
April, May, June?
April, May, June. And we have not discussed, even though we live in the same house.
Do we?
For now, it's using for college. The whole prize situation for the next round. We will discuss that and let you know. So what you need to do is you have to read at least 15 minutes a day. That is the challenge. And again, it doesn't matter to me what you read: audiobook, regular book, physical book, Kindle book, magazine, blog. The Hubs is making faces. He's reading, I don't know, something on the computer screen.
No, he's pointing to his orange juice glass and not drinking his orange juice straight from the carton. Oh, he's making a show of it.
It's not a carton, it's a bottle.
It's whatever it is.
15 minutes a day, it doesn't matter to me what you read as long as you're reading something. And then there's like a quote-unquote FO thread in the Ravelry group.
Finish line thread.
Finish line, that's right, I forgot you renamed it.
We should name the next one Finish line thread.
Yes, help me remember.
Like in Stash Stash, they have the finish line thread.
Help me remember to do that this week, for next week. So you post once in that thread and then you go in and edit it. And you don't have to go in and edit it daily. You just need to, like you can do like the whole week and then go in and edit it just for like for the 7 days, whatever. But you need to have your January, February, March post finished by Saturday, the 31st of March, because Sunday morning, April the 1st, no joke, when we get up, I'm going to lock the thread.
Even though that's a Sunday?
Even though that's a Sunday. And Easter and April Fool's Day. So I'm going to lock that thread.
Busy day.
Very busy day. So I'm going to lock that thread, and then we'll announce prize winners on the next podcast after that. So prize-wise, if you do at least 87 of the 90 days, you will be entered into a giveaway for one of our ebooks. Depending on how many people finish that, we may do more ebook giveaways. You'll be entered into 2 other giveaways sponsored by Iggy Star. One person will receive a skein of Firefly-inspired yarn and my Firefly sock pattern. The other person will receive a skein of Doctor Who-inspired yarn and any one of my single Doctor Who-inspired patterns. And everybody who finishes the 87 of the 90 days will get a coupon code for 20% off a single pattern in our Ravelry store. If you finish 60 of the 90 days, you'll be entered into a giveaway for one of our single patterns. Depending on how many people finish that, we may do more than one giveaway. And if you want to post on social media about this, you can use the hashtag GGKRAL, RAL 18. And yes, we will have the April, May, June finish line open for starting next week. And we will discuss the whole prize situation thing, and I'll let y'all know that.
I'll give y'all some prizes.
Give you some prizes.
Y'all.
Okay. Is that everything about the RAL?
Yes.
Okay.
So what are you reading?
Okay, so I'm still reading Only Love Today by Rachel Macy Stafford. I finished the first quarter of the book because it's done in, it's small, it's really short essays done in different seasons. And so I finished the first season and I'm into the second season. I am rereading Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
You mean the Philosopher's Stone.
It is the Philosopher's Stone. By J.K. Rowling. So what I'm doing is I'm rereading it and listening to the Harry Potter and the Sacred Text podcast concurrently. So so like I read the first chapter and then the hubs and I listened to the first episode. So I'm thinking I might continue that. He doesn't know that, but so I'll read the next chapter and then we can listen to the second episode together. We usually listen. Last week we listened while we were going to knit night.
Ooh.
So I think I'm going to do that. I think that's kind of cool. So they're into book 4 now. So I am like way back at the very beginning of listening to it. So I'll put links to that in the show notes. From Kindle Unlimited books, fiction-wise, that I read this week were Venturers, which is the 4th book in the Hot Blood series by Bella Forrest. It's not my favorite series that she's done, but I am enjoying it. I read Wicked Wishes, which is book number 10 in the Ivy Morgan mystery series by Lily Harper Hart. I love that series. It's so fun. And, of course, it's got witches in it, as you would guess. I read book number 2 of the Naturalist series by Andrew Mayne called Looking Glass. And this is not a cozy mystery. This is very, like, it is a crime book, but it's very...
it's true crime.
No, it's not true crime. It's very suspenseful thriller type book, and I really enjoyed it. I had read the first book sometime I think last year, and was waiting for the next one to come out. I read book number 2 in the Elder Witch Cozy Mystery series by Regina Welling and Erin Lynn called Murder on the Backswing, and it's like
about baseball.
No, golf.
Oh.
This book was had golf.
I know sports.
And this has characters from a previous series she did, so she took a couple of the characters and moved them into another series. And then I'm reading the Missed Connections series by Alexandria Clark, and Dammy was just asking me about this, and I don't know why, but she labels her books starting with book 0. So I read book 0 and book 1, and I don't know when book 2 is coming out, because she does...
You can't say the 0th book.
I don't know.
You can say the nth book, which is, like, again, it could correspond to 0, but...
I guess. I don't know. But she is one that writes very much cliffhangery, like, major cliffhangers, and you're like, wait, what? I have to wait for the next book. So, yeah. And then I've been checking books out from our library.
The library?
Using, I've checked out some physical books, but I've also been using the Libby, Libby app, which connects with your library and with, like, digital books. It's really cool. So I've been reading the Soul Finder series by Maria V. Snyder. I read books 1 and 2, and I just started book 3 last night. And this is like, even though it's its own 3-book series, it's really a continuation of another 3-book series she did, and she thought it was done there, and she was writing other stuff, and the fans, like, kept after her to please continue the story. So this is technically books 4, 5, and 6.
Was she happy about doing more,
yeah.
Or was she begrudgingly doing it?
No, she
like Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
Yeah, no, she was like it's really fun to, like, get back in with these characters. So this is a magic, but it's not like a cozy mystery thing. It's like one kingdom, they don't like magic, and another kingdom has lots of magicians and fighting and spies and all kinds of stuff like that. So I've been enjoying reading that. All right, Dammy, you said you watched a movie this week. I should put it in the show notes. What have you been watching?
I watched The Little Mermaid a couple of times.
A couple?
A couple of times.
A couple?
Yeah. 3 max.
That's not a couple.
That's 3.
A couple is 2.
Eric is dreamy.
The Little Mermaid has long been your favorite Disney movie.
I need to buy the Broadway cast album because it's not on Spotify.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
So they're doing a live action, yes?
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting some water. When is it supposed to come out?
19 or 20, I think. Probably,
And
I'm guessing.
Lin-Manuel Miranda is is helping with this, right?
Yes, with Alan Menken, so it can't go that wrong, but why not use the new songs they made for the Broadway stage version instead of writing whole new songs like they did for the live-action Beauty and the Beast?
The new songs for live-action Beauty and the Beast were amazing.
The new songs for the stage version of The Little Mermaid were good too, especially her voice.
Well, maybe they'll use them, but then also write some new ones. Am I right in remembering that I read somewhere or heard somewhere that Lin-Manuel Miranda, he really likes the Little Mermaid movie?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
He grew up on it. He loved it.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, and then I watched a couple of Hallmark movies this week, as I do.
A couple?
Only a couple, yep. Because there's been... because over the Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's holidays, there was 57 zillion, but now there's not as many. So I watched The Sweetest Heart and Royal Matchmaker. And it all was happily ever after in the end. Have you been watching the web series? Or did you finish it?
I finished it. I finished it after we finished recording the podcasts last week.
So tell them about it, what it is.
It is called Nothing Much to Do. It's a Lizzie Bennet diary-style YouTube web series of Much Ado About Nothing by Shakespeare.
Set where?
Set in New Zealand, because it was New Zealand students that wanted to do the web series, so it's set there.
And did you enjoy it?
Yes, I did.
Okay. You'd recommend people to watch it?
Yes, I would.
Okay, and then I've been watching season 6 of Charmed. I've had a couple of days of marathoning it while I've been doing other work. Yeah. Yesterday and today.
You've watched a couple episodes?
No, I've said a couple days of marathoning.
Uh-huh.
Because I did.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Whatever. So anyway, so we've now discovered that Chris is Piper and Leo's son. And it was written into the series that way because the actress that plays Piper was really pregnant.
Oh.
And she hid the pregnancy from Leo, and then he found out. But so Chris, their son, traveled back in time to try to stop his brother Wyatt from becoming evil.
He's a baby though.
Yes. So all the drama. Do you want to talk about the next one, or do you want me to?
What? Oh, the X-Files season 11 finale. I'm sort of underwhelmed. So the cigarette-smoking man is dead, shot by Mulder, and William survived being shot by the cigarette-smoking man. Is Skinner dead? Scully's pregnant. I was underwhelmed.
So, Gillian Anderson had said that she doesn't want to do anymore. And
leave her in peace, Chris Carter.
Yeah, Chris Carter at first was like, okay, we can't do this without Scully.
You're right.
But then he's like, but maybe... Then he came back and was like, maybe there's some more to be told.
No, there's not.
Stop. No more. Just let it in there. In peace.
Be quiet.
What did he say?
He said, no, I want more.
The hubs wants more, apparently. So we're watching season 13 of Criminal Minds, and I opened it to get it ready for us to watch, and I was like, the thing, the little synopsis said something about a killer clown in a sleepy Oklahoma town called Guyman, and I went, what? Because that sleepy little town in Oklahoma is where my mom is from. And so I texted her, and I was like, guess where the new episode of Criminal Minds is set? And she was like, yeah, she had heard about it. I guess probably she's in a group on Facebook for her high school class, and so I'm guessing that's where they talked about it. But apparently it wasn't even filmed in Guyman, apparently. So, Guyman, Oklahoma.
No, they don't go on.
Not a lot.
They don't have the money to go all over.
For me, probably big episodes they do, but yeah. So anyway, Guyman, Oklahoma. That's where my mom is from, and it was Creepy Clown, and it was very creepy, and I was just like, "Oh, can we just stop with creepy clowns?" Yeah. Okay, do you want to talk about the next things?
Sure, we are watching season 3 of Blind Spot. They found out Borden is alive. Roman sent a message that should result in apprehending Crawford. Tasha told Reed she's in love with him.
Why are you so like, some of these things are like intense things.
Because, I don't know. I don't know.
Like, they found out Borden is alive. They thought he was dead. And so Patterson's not dealing with this well. Because he betrayed her.
Mm-hmm. Why are you looking at me like that?
Okay, talk about the next thing too.
Oh my gosh. We're watching season 5 of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't really know where they're going with this.
Don't know either.
I didn't expect this season to go this way. It's interesting. So, I'm not going to say Fitz went off the deep end.
Fitz went off the deep end with 7 zillion
No.
exclamation points.
He's having psychological problems. That's not going off the deep end. Daisy has her powers back, and she closed the rift. Simmons knows Deke is her grandson, and Hale is with Hydra, apparently, and so are the Kree, maybe?
Yeah, I was very confused at the end. I was like, what are they
This is an
doing?
interesting episode.
Yeah, I'm not sure where they're going with this. And then I'm watching season 5 of When Calls the Heart. Pastor Frank is staying to work at the Children's Hospital instead of staying in Hope Valley. Very sad. And then the husband and I are watching season 9 of NCIS LA, and Callan's dad gave himself up to return to Russia in exchange for a couple that had been kidnapped to be returned to the U.S. And it was very emotional. And I cried, and Callan cried, and Callan's sister cried, and everybody was crying, except for the hubs. He wasn't crying.
On the inside, maybe.
I don't think he was crying. Oh, he was crying, apparently. Yeah. So, and then I've listened to our Spotify CC and Dammy Love Musicals playlist and our car playlist, and then also I have been getting stuff done to the Hamilton mixtape. Like, I probably listened to it about 50 times this week. Not really 50, but a lot. More than a couple.
A couple.
More than a couple. I don't know. It just like motivates me to like get stuff done. So I've been listening. My favorite song on there
Is
Jimmy Fallon's "You'll Be Back." Love that. But there's some other ones that I'm like, oh my gosh, that really touches me. Okay, what have you been listening to?
I listened to a bit of the Hadestown concept album by Anais Mitchell and some episodes of Cabin Pressure. Yesterday I listened to Fittin' with my father.
And what happens in Fittin'?
It's the end of series 1. So they're waiting on standby for Mr. Goddard, who hasn't shown up, and they're juggling apples.
Is that the one where like
drunk?
They had like an hour left, and then all of a sudden he comes and wants to use.
Yes. And brown sauce. And they're fairly often just completely happy.
You should really, really, if you have not already, listen to Cabin Pressure, which is a radio comedy.
I want the CD set of it because it comes with like little extra goodies on Amazon.
Fun. You should check it out.
And the blooper reel, apparently.
Benedict Cumberbatch is in this. So, anyway, it's enjoyable. We enjoy it a lot. So, all right, I think that is everything we are reading, watching, and listening to, so we should move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about our March, April, May Sheepy Spring Owl.
That's right. So this started on the 1st of March and it runs through the 31st of May. It's for any, I just split a stitch. It's for any project that you knit, crochet, weave, or spin, so the Ravelry crafts, that you can convince us is related to the spring. What's the fallback, Dammy?
The spring. You made it in the spring.
That's right.
Unless you're in the southern hemisphere, but it's okay.
Yeah,
okay, we can
we're treated differently on that. No whips are allowed. You have to start your project no earlier than the 1st of March and finish it by the 31st of May. Our new rule for this season of the OWL is for posting in the FO thread, your project has to be at least 20 yards, 18.3 meters of yarn used, or you need to group more than one project together to make at least a minimum of 20 yards, 18.3 meters. So say you knit a coaster and it used 17 yards, you would need to group it with something else that is at least 3 yards so that you would have a total of 20. And you post all those things in one post in the FO thread, and that will count for one entry into the giveaway. Other than that, if you post something that uses more than 20 yards of yarn, that's one entry into the giveaway. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Feel free to polydip in other owls as long as it meets the rules. We have lots of lovely prizes on the screen right now. If you would like to see them closer or find out more about them more in detail, you can go to
geekygirlsknit.com.
And a huge thank you to everyone who has donated prizes for this along. You have to be a member of the Geeky Girls Knit Ravelry group on... I always say this wrong.
The Geeky Girls
Knit podcast group on Ravelry to participate. The social media hashtag is hashtag GGKSpring18. We will lock the FO thread the morning of the 1st of June and award prizes on the next podcast. After that, you'll have 30 days to claim your prize if you're a winner or you forfeit it. We have a chatter thread in the Ravelry group where you can talk about what you're knitting. Dammy gives a shout out to everybody who finished the projects, as well as she gives out a shout out here on the podcast. So Dammy, who finished projects this week?
Angie's Hip, I Need a Cupcake Now,
Army I love that.
08, Artist Maybe, Carrie 77, DG White, Firefly 12, Kana Soup, Karenina 4777, Knit Central, Knit Live Love, Little Angel SG2, Maria Wilhelmina, Masterbox P248, Mystery Sewer, Panushka, who has an adorable baby, R&B Knitter, Rogue Robot, Sarah Tastefully, She's Knitting Socks, The Cat Knit, VT Kimmy Kim, and What Angel H.
Nope, one more.
And Yarn Walnuts.
Great job, everybody. I love the Anita Cupcake Now. I love that.
Anita Cupcake Now.
That Ravelry name. That is really cute. Very cute. So great job, everybody. Keep working on your projects. You have about 2 months to go to finish them, and you might be a winner. Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on to the next segment.
And now it's time for Ask the Geeky Girls, the part of our show where you ask us things and we answer them.
That's right. So what's this week's question, Dammy?
This week's question is from Jenny, who is Jennifer Reels from Missouri. Your awesome socks. Don't know which ones these were.
All of them.
Inspired a question for both of you. Do you buy shoes to show off your socks? For instance, are you prone to wear socks with your sandals? Or do you wear clogs? Or do you have those clear plastic shoes that they make? I haven't successfully made socks, but if I did, I might be prone to want to wear shoes that show off my awesome socks.
Great question, Jenny. She referenced the clear plastic shoes they make. So there are clear plastic. I don't know if they are actually Doc Martens or if they're knockoffs.
They have clear Doc Martens, but they probably have clear knockoffs that are less expensive.
Where that way you can see the socks that you're wearing in them. We don't have those. You
can also see whatever you hide in your shoe in there too, so terrible idea.
What do you hide in your shoe?
It's a secret.
Oh. A couple of things?
Oh, more than a couple.
More than a couple.
I hide my fake passports in there. It's like, get out of the country.
So I don't usually... Okay, so... See, I don't know how to answer this because I do it different now than I used to. So I used to wear a lot of maxi skirts, and I would wear leggings under them, and I would wear socks with my brogues or my short black booties, and that way you could see the socks coming out of the top of those shoes. But I don't wear those a lot. I don't wear a lot of maxi skirts anymore. I tend to wear more jeggings, which I know, but that's just what works for me, so I wear it. And So, like, my socks aren't really seen as much, especially since I got the really tall pink boots. But when I go to my friend Alexi's house, they don't wear shoes typically in the house, and so I take my boots or shoes or whatever off. And her oldest two boys, who I've taught how to knit, are always very interested in what socks I have worn. So that is how my socks are seen, is when I go to their house. They're like, okay, Miss Cece, what socks did you wear today? And I have to tell them, like, you know, like, when I knit them and the colorway name and everything. I have to, like, and then now they know. They're like, oh, that's right, you knit those for Valentine's Day or whatever. It's very cute. But other than that, I don't really, like, show them off anymore. How about you?
I wear jeans most of the time, so they go under, and then you can't really see them from the top of my shoe, so.
Yeah, so.
They're just there.
They're there making me happy on the inside.
I have no sandals to wear socks with either.
I have sandals, but I don't typically wear socks with them. I have the pink and orange ones that I got from, you know which ones I'm talking about.
Socks with sandals is...
I have worn socks with sandals before.
No!
My mom tends to wear socks with sandals.
No!
The problem, though, for my mom is she's got really long but narrow feet.
Yeah, I know.
And I don't know. So, like, in the same way that, like, I can't wear jeans or whatever with, like, buttons and zippers in them because of the fibromyalgia, it irritates my skin. I think she she also has fibromyalgia. I don't know if this is why, but she can't wear closed-toed shoes. And so, especially in the winter, she'll wear socks with sandals because those tend to be open-toed. Mm-hmm. Long story. How did I get to this point? Socks. So, typically...
We don't wear clogs either. We don't have any
clogs. I have worn clogs in the past.
When?
I had some before we moved to Scotland.
Did?
I did. I had a brown pair and a black pair. And I didn't take them to Scotland with us, I don't think. Because we downsized before we went.
Clogs, are they...
They're the slip-on ones.
Oh, I'm thinking of, like, dancing clogs.
No. The Hubs remembers the clogs.
I would have called those sandals.
No, because they were closed. They were just slip-on shoes. Kind of like... I
know which ones you're talking about.
What are the plastic ones called?
Plastic what?
Like the clogs. Plastic clogs? No.
Sandals?
No,
slip-ons.
Footwear.
Shoes.
What are they called?
I don't know.
Y'all are, like, screaming at me what they're called. Okay, we're going to have to pause for a second because I have to figure this out because it's going to drive me crazy otherwise. Crocs.
That's
what I couldn't remember.
Meant.
I had Crocs. I don't think I had the name brand. I think I had generic.
Crocs are awful.
What if our viewers wear Crocs every single day?
Crocs are awful.
Dammy.
They are.
This is Dammy's opinion. You're being very judgmental about people that wear Crocs.
I didn't say people who wear Crocs are awful. I'm just saying Crocs themselves are awful. Like, if you wore them in Texas without socks, you go outside, you spend a nice day on the beach, you come back, your feet are sunburned with little holes on them, little circles.
Are you speaking from experience?
No, I'm just saying this is what happens. If you wear them here in the rainy P&W without any socks, or even with socks, your socks get soaked because of the holes.
Some people wear them to garden, and especially in the summer,
bugs crawl in them.
Kids can slip them on to go outside and play.
I don't judge the kid Crocs. They don't know any better.
Tammy!
I just don't like Crocs.
We have just lost.
They're not fashionable.
We have just lost a whole ton of viewers, Tammy, because of your judgmental Croc attitude.
I feel
You don't wear Crocs!
I know.
The Hubs feels judged even though he doesn't wear them. Damn me.
I don't like Crocs.
Okay, but...
And that's my opinion.
Yes, but other people might like them. Other people do like them.
But I'm allowed to have my opinion that Crocs.
Okay, but you don't need to
good.
judge the people
I'm
that
not
wear
judging them!
You're telling them that their opinion is awful.
I'm just saying, I don't like Crocs.
Okay. But other
They're
people
not
do.
comfortable either.
Okay, but other people think they are comfortable and like them. If you enjoy wearing Crocs, you go for it. You know what? You wear what makes you happy and comfortable. That's what I do.
You can speak!
The Hubs just texted us to say, from the kitchen, to say, what about gators? I don't like crocodiles or alligators. But I don't think there's shoes called gators. You wear what makes you comfortable and what makes you happy, regardless of Dammy's opinion about Crocs. She won't be wearing them, but if you want to wear them, you do it.
I'll wear any other type of shoe besides Crocs.
Will you wear jellies?
What are jellies? Oh wait, are they the weird feeling ones? Yes, I'll wear those. I will wear those.
Even though they're plastic, just like Crocs.
But they're not Crocs.
I don't even know how to move on from this because I have worn Crocs before, so now I feel very judged by you.
I wore Crocs before too, but then I changed my ways. We don't really wear shoes to show off our socks anymore. Especially not in Crocs. Or gators.
We show them off here on the podcast and on social media. Oh my gosh, damn.
We don't wear socks with sandals.
I sometimes do.
I don't because I don't have any sandals to wear them
We
with.
have sandals.
Those are flip-flops because they have they have a thing that goes between the toes, so I can't wear socks with them.
But they're not flip-flops, they're sandals. No, they're not. They have leather straps and everything. They're not flip-flops.
We don't wear clogs or clear plastic shoes.
I'm so sorry for my child's
I just
judgment.
don't like Crocs!
Okay, but other people do.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's move on.
Like, I don't like to crochet, but that doesn't mean other people
I'm not
should.
judging people who crochet. I think crocheting is great.
No, I'm using an example.
And I'm not judging the people who wear Crocs. I'm just saying Crocs, they don't look nice, I don't think. And they don't look comfortable or sturdy.
Okay, but some people feel that they are.
Okay.
Okay. So you don't wear them, but you let other people wear them if they want to.
No, I'm the Croc police.
Apparently. So you better watch out.
Okay, we're moving on. Thank you, Jenny, for your question.
If somebody has a question for us, what should they do?
Go to our Ask the Geeky Girls thread in our Ravelry group and post it.
But don't ask about Crocs, because she's going to judge you. Let's move on to the next segment. Yeah, we've made it to the end of the show. I am just, flabbergasted, my child.
You have strong opinions about things too, but no one ever says you're being judgmental about it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you were like, Crocs are awful.
Crocs are awful.
But not everybody thinks Crocs are awful.
That's why it's an opinion, not a fact. I never said it was a fact. Okay, what are we talking about here?
We are going to talk about our Tickled Pink
Wonderful
book.
Tickled Pink book, and if you really must, you can wear any of the 4 sock patterns in the book with Crocs, but only if you really have to.
Or if they really want to.
Just don't show me.
You're going to all of a sudden get a rash of photos
No!
on GGK Crafty Pad of people wearing Crocs.
No, I purposefully will not pick them.
What if that's all anybody posted all week? All the photos have Crocs in them.
No cats, no bunnies, no ferrets, no knitting,
Yes,
nothing.
All of those animals are going to be wearing Crocs.
That is torture. That is animal torture. Okay, talk about our book, please. Our Tickled Pink book, which is beautiful and awesome and up for pre-order right now.
Yes. So this is our Tickled Pink book. It's 2 designers. That's the 2 of us, just in case you were wondering. 4 indie dyers, Suburban Stitcher, 7 Sisters Arts, Neighborhood Fiber Co., and Abstract Fiber, and 8 Pinktastic patterns. So Dammy and I each designed a project based on the colorway.
Yes.
So there's 4 sock patterns. You did 2 and I did 2, and then I did a hat pattern and a shawl pattern, and you did a wrap and a cowl.
Yes. And they kept me warm during the photo shoot because it was cold outside.
It was kind of, yeah. Oh, if you're wanting to see a sneak peek of stuff after the credits, there will be some short little videos that I filmed while we were doing the photo shoot. It was a lot of fun. Okay, so you can pre-order the book at
pink.javapearldesigns.com.
That's right. So there are 4 ways you can pre-order the book. But the deadline to pre-order the physical book is with the goodies is Thursday, the 5th of April. And we will order a few extra books alone, but you will not be able to get the goodies after the 5th of April. Okay?
And they're really cute goodies.
They are really cute goodies.
I need the badges.
Yeah, you can get the ebook on Ravelry for $18.75, and that's always there. So you can do that. There's no deadline on that. But for the 3 options with the physical book, so you can get the physical book by itself, and all the physical books come with the Ravelry download code of the full book, as well as each of the individual patterns. So if you want to have just one pattern on your iPad versus the entire huge file of the book. So the physical book with the download code is $20.50 plus shipping. Second option is the book with the download code, a custom glass stitch marker by Ann Tudor. This is not the one, but this is one of the ones that she's made, and it's a cute little coffee cup. She also did one for us for our 5th anniversary kits.
It was a cupcake.
It was. And then the Julia of Pandy's Jewels designed a cute little image for us. These 2 cats are the ones that are on there. So the Cece cat and Dammy cat. So we are having badges made with that image on it. So you can get that. So you get the book, the download code, the custom glass stitch marker, and the badge / button, whatever you call it in your country, for $26.50 plus shipping. And then the third option is all of that stuff plus a pouch just like this, but with just the Cece kitty and Dammy kitty on it, and it says Tickled Pink. This is a 6x9 inch pouch, and this is my #Geeky Knit Squad one that Julia made because she felt left out, so she did a Julia kitty. So you can get all of that for $39.50 plus shipping. Mm-hmm. Again, the deadline to pre-order the book with the goodies is Thursday, the 5th of April, because we have to get numbers to Julia for the pouches and to Anne for the stitch markers, and we've got to order the badges, and we have to order the books. And pre-orders will ship no later than Thursday, the 26th of April, and the book releases on Thursday, the 26th of April. So you have about a week left if you want to pre-order the book with goodies.
Yep.
So, again, where do they go to do that?
pink.javapearldesigns.com.
Awesome. Okay, do we have anything else? I think that's everything. So, we'd like to say a huge thank you to everyone who supports the podcast, however you do that. But a huge thank you especially to our financial sponsors, because it costs money to do a podcast. So there's 3 main ways you can financially support the podcast. First is Patreon, which is a site where you pledge a certain amount of money to your favorite creatives. And based on what level you donate at, you get rewards. It's kind of like the PBS pledge thingy. So if you'd like to find out more about that or sign up, you can go to
Patreon.com/geekygirlsnet.
What's another way?
There's a PayPal button in the sidebar of our website if you would like to make a one-time donation.
And we are amazon.com.co.uk and .ca affiliates. If you're going to shop on Amazon, if you click through our website first, we get a little money back based on what you purchase. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it's a great way to support the podcast by doing something you would be doing already. So, Dammy, where can they find us online and do all of those things?
You can find us at geekygirlsnet.com. There are links to everywhere else we are online. YouTube, iTunes, Ravelry, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc.
Yes. So with that, we're going to tell you goodbye. Stay tuned after the credits for sneak peek of the patterns from Tickled Pink. And feel free to wear your Crocs, even if Dammy doesn't like them.
See, I didn't say if you wear Crocs, you're a horrible person. I didn't say that.
Yes.
I just don't like Crocs.
Okay.
There we go.
But if you want to wear them, you wear them. And we hope you have a lovely rest of your week. Say bye, Dammy.
Bye, Dammy.
Happy knitting. Live on location for the Tickled Pink photo shoot. Here's our fabulous photographer, Mel, and Dammy. I'm not going to show you what she's wearing. Super secret photo shooting going on. Super exciting. Behind the scenes action, Dammy and I are having to blot out the sun. Dammy! You're blotting out the sun!